million. Even if 1 million of the people in this population contribute $5 each, how much money will that be? That's a lot of money. That could have helped the team prepare properly, go to Azerbaijan, and do well, and come back with the trophy.
In order for the girls to perform well, it will require both moral and financial assistance from every Gambian, and this step taken by school children is rather a significant one.
Coming in this office to be presented from the young kids from all over the country, I think is a blessing. And it's an example that, the whole entire nation should embark on it. I think this is a very good initiative and it's a very good example. So the people have to at least follow up.
Upon receiving the cast, the Youth and Sport Minister called on the general public to emulate the school children while describing the contribution as worthwhile.
The amount is not very significant. What is symbolic is the effort and the gesture that has been put into this, and more so coming from young boys and girls from the schools. So through her, I want to, on behalf of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, thank her first, and also through her, all those young children who have forgone, as Mr. Seka said, their little lunches for a day. Their dollars is to put together this $30,000 is 532. We really appreciate it, and as everybody have said, if young boys and girls can do this, why can't anybody else do? So we are appealing to the general public, the institutions.
With the World Junior Championship starting on the 22nd of this month, Gambians continues to show solidarity with the Darling Scorpions, who are currently the pride of Gambian football and ready to make the country proud at the international stage. For Grts Sports, this is Fatou Jassi.
And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Women groups from across the country and a delegation of chiefs and elders from the North Bank region have appealed for clemency on behalf of the remaining death row inmates. The Department of Fisheries is conducting an outreach program to popularize a 4-year sustainable fisheries strategic action plan. A female newscaster has presented the news on Egyptian state TV wearing the veil, ending the ban imposed by successive administrations. And authorities in South Africa have released 162 miners who were charged with the murder of their striking colleagues at the Marikana mine. You can monitor GRTS Radio Live on our website at www.grts.gm. That brings us to the end of this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Stay tuned and enjoy GRTS.
وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون.
Central Bank of the Gambia is in the process of modernizing the country's payments, clearing and settlement system infrastructure. The reforms which came into effect on August 1, 2012 have radically overhauled the way the Central Bank and the 13 commercial banks in the country do business, especially the handling of cash, check clearing and securities settlement.
Payment systems, as you may know, facilitate transactions in an economy, and therefore the key objective of this modernization is to ensure that there is efficiency. Efficiency here can be interpreted in many forms, but essentially what the central bank hopes to achieve is to ensure that there is movement of funds at least cost. That is what efficiency is about. Movement of funds at least cost, but at the same time making sure that the funds get to the right beneficiary. This is what we hope to achieve in the banking system and the financial system of the country as a whole. But there are other related issues as far as the benefits are concerned.
It is part of a regional payment system initiative and is also an integral part of the prerequisites towards an effective West African monetary integration.
The West African Monetary Institute, which is based in Accra in Ghana, in collaboration with the Central Bank of the Gambia and other sister central banks, collaborated to implement what is called modern payment systems. This is essentially to modernize the payment systems in these three countries, and they are four countries rather, namely the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia. The Gambia was chosen as the pilot site, and this project, for your information, is funded by the African Development Bank. So for the past 2 years, the Central Bank has been modernizing its payment systems.
The new payment systems encompass a set of instruments and means generally acceptable in making payments, institutional and organizational framework governing such payments, and the operating procedures and communications networks used to initiate and transmit payment information from payer to payee, thereby transferring value from one to the other.
The payment systems is a set of instruments, a set of procedures, rules, and the institutional framework that is ensuring the movement of funds from the payer to the payee. In short, this is what payment systems is all about.
We have also been having collaboration with the government IFMIS project, which is also the government financial management project that is responsible for the government accounts. And we have established connections now in which all the accounts of government can be remotely viewed by the Directorate of National Treasury, and in effect will improve also in terms of prompt receipt of all payments and receipts going into the account of the government. Plans are also underway to integrate GRA within this same module.